Hey all, welcome to another episode of Project Integration. Today in this video, we are going to discuss how to host a static site in Firebase. Before going into that, you have to understand, suppose you have a personal website and you design this website using the normal HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you want to host into the web. But for that reason, you require a hosting, right? For that, how you going to host the site? You need to purchase the space from your suppose GoDaddy, or suppose you're going to purchase from different service provider who's going to give a space. On that also, you are going to host your site. Apart from that, suppose nowadays all the sites are enabled by SSL. For that reason, you are going to also going to purchase the SSL certificate, or you are going to purchase the high-end hosting that is going to include the SSL. For that reason, you need to spend little of money from your pocket to host your website. But just understand, suppose your normal HTML CSS file and just want to host just like a personal portfolio or some kind of information site, and there is no dynamic at all. In this case, instead of spending that much money from your hosting provider, how you can host free that application using the Firebase. Okay, today in this video, we are going to discuss how we are going to host a personal website into using the Firebase. In my screen, you can see that I have created a site that is for my personal site. I have already purchased a domain, and that domain I'm going to host this site. And you can see that this site is running in localhost, and now I'm going to show you step-by-step guide how you can go and host your website using the Firebase. Now, here if you go navigate to Firebase, you know that Firebase is provided by the Google, where you can able to do lots of Google service free of cost. Free of cost means, guys, like lot of thing will be free, lot of thing will be paid after some extent or after some limit that should be paid. You can see that already my account is created. I'm not going to sign up, but if you are first time, please go and do the sign up for the application. Once you sign up, then what will happen? There is a link will come here. That's called Go to Console. Once you click the Go to Console, you can see that this is going to open your console for you. This is the default console for you. Now you can see that I have different kind of applications I already created. For that reason, this is going to display. But for you, I'm going to show how I'm going to create. Just imagine you are going to create a new project. A new project means what? Suppose we are going to host a website, right? For a website, we're going to create a project into the Firebase. Here you have an option called add project. You have an existing project, we are going to use the existing project. If you add project, I'm going to create an add project. For my website, I already created the project called Partha.pw because my website domain is partha.pw. We'll back here going to see that for the demo purpose, I'm going to create a project. For real implementation, I'm going to use the existing project. Okay. Now let's go. For the first time, you're going to click on add project. Once you click the add project, it's going to ask you a project name. Suppose here going to enter, suppose Partha personal website, and Partha personal website. Okay, you can see that same to same. You can give your whatever name you want to give. You can give your domain name, anything, because already I have used my domain name. Due to that same name you cannot create, I created Partha personal website. Now let's continue. Once you continue, you can see that it's asking that you are going to enable the Google Analytics for your project. It's totally optional. If you want, you can enable. If you don't want also, you cannot disable now. In future also, you can enable using the Google Analytics tool. That I'm going to discuss in different series, how you can go and integrate the Google Analytics into a project. But as of now, let me go do this one. No, I don't require Google Analytics. Next, simple create project. Once you click on the create project, it's going to create a project for us, just like it's going to creating. After it's creating the project, it's going to open that project into a new window. It's going to create a new dashboard where we can able to see all the features of our Firebase. Now it's already almost done. It's going to finishing up. Now it's going to create it. Now you can see that now a project is created. Now simply click on continue. Once you click on continue, now this is going to open our personal project. Once you can see that here in left hand side, we have a list of options available, and right hand side, this is the content of this particular menus. Now here you can see that Firebase consists of all these things: build, release, analytics, and engage. Today in this video, we are not going to discuss anything. We are only going to focus about our hosting. Other parts, I'm going to create a separate video, separate series for each and everything. But today we're going to focus only on the hosting. Let me click on the hosting. Once you click on the hosting, it's going to going to first open this pop-up, this page first going to open. It's going to say that deploy your web and mobile app using the secure global content delivery network, because Firebase using their own CDN where you can go and deploy our application. Now you can see that web apps means only the web application you can install, just like a normal HTML page or Angular application, React application, PW application, any kind of web application you can host which contain HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now click on get started. Once you click on get started, there is just some kind of things it's going to do. First it's saying that install Firebase CLI. You can see that we have to install this Firebase CLI tool into our command prompt. Now let's go install this one first into our application. Then only we can go one by one. You can see that it's using a -G. -G, you know that in npm it's always going to install in global level. Let me copy this tool and open the command prompt and going to do the thing. Now here I'm going to paste this one. Due to this is the -G global level, I can open any path, I can do the simple enter. Now it will go and download this Firebase tool and install into our local. Now you can see that like our npm this Firebase tool is got installed in global level. You can see that everything is done. Now we'll go to follow the next step. Click on the next. Once you click on the next, now it's going to do initialize your project. Guys, understand this install Fire CLI, it's a global level. This CLI is required, command line interface required to enable all the Firebase stuff. You click on next, you are going to open your project and here you're going to do the Firebase login. Here this command you need to run into your project, not the global level, because if you are the project, you can see that I have this is my project. Okay, this is simple HTML file and the assets file which contain all these things. Now here I'm going to execute that code. What code I'm going to execute? I'm going to execute Firebase login. Now Firebase login. Once you click on Firebase login, it will going to ask you the credentials. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Now it's asking that Firebase login, Firebase optional collect, you want to collect some information from your project. You will say no, it's not. Now it will going to open your pop-up. Okay, here you're going to say that which account you have to choose. You can see that I'm going to choose my personal account. Once you click personal account, you can see that it's going to say that Firebase CLI wants to access your account. You can simply go and check what are the permissions are there. Simply click on allow. Once you click on allow, you can see that it's Firebase CLI login successfully. Open your application, you can see that it's saying that successfully login this mail ID. Whatever mail ID you have, it's going to login successfully. And next step is we can go and configure the Firebase project into our application. Navigate to this one. They are saying that Firebase after login, you're going to set Firebase init. And next you're going to do is the option called Firebase deploy. It's going to do the deploy. But as of now, I am not doing this Firebase init and I am also not doing Firebase deploy. That will do later. But before that, let's go to the console. Okay, continue the console. If you go to dashboard hosting, you can see that hosting dashboard, you can see that by default two domains are available. One is whatever project you created, that project.webapp.web.app, and whatever different Firebase.app. This two domain is bind by default for your application. If you click this one, you can see that it's just going to show 404 or it's not going to, you can see that. If you click this URL, you can able to see that site not found default will come because we did not host anything here, right? Now, same to same, the next you are going to click, it's going to open the default, because by default Firebase is going to give you two default domain. That default domain is based on a project name .thewebapp and firebase.app.com. But here the things will be Firebase also supporting the custom domain. Custom domain means suppose you have purchased your own domain. Suppose you have just like you have, suppose myself, my domain is partha.pw. Suppose your name .something.com.in any domain, right? Now how you can go and add the custom domain here? For that reason, if you can see that in the dashboard hosting, there is an option called add custom domain. Once you click on add custom domain, it's going to open the pop-up. Now what we are going to do, we are going to enter your domain name. What domain name? Suppose for my domain is partha.pw. But sometimes suppose you have my website.com. Just like anything will be there, it doesn't matter, but it depends upon this is a valid domain should be. Okay, once it's a valid domain, what you go to do now, suppose just imagine mywebsite.com. Here you are going to click on continue. Once you click on continue, guys, this is the demo purpose. Okay, a real thing I will show in my own domain because this is not a valid domain. But for the first time you are doing, you have to know that what to do, right? Mywebsite.com. Now click on continue. Once you click on continue, what will happen, guys? It's not going to do the verify the ownership. How the Google know that this domain is belongs to you or not? For that, it's saying that first go to your domain. Like suppose you purchase a domain GoDaddy or you purchase a domain suppose any other places. Now what you're going to do, you have to go to the specific domain DNS management. Then in DNS management, what you're going to do, first add a TXT record. I'm going to show you. I am using Reseller Club as my domain provider. You can use wherever you can purchase, doesn't matter. But my domain is too old domain. I have purchased from Reseller Club. Each and every domain provider, if you open your domain, there is an option called DNS record. It may be in GoDaddy, it may be anywhere you purchase, there is an option called DNS record. What you want to do, simply go and click on DNS record. Once you click on DNS record, same kind of option will come. Now, first you are going to do, it's saying that first you're going to add the TXT record. Now you have to go and click on TXT and here click on add another record and enter the domain. Okay, enter the domain. Here you can see that it's saying that mywebsite.com. Here you're going to enter your actual website. Now, but you can see that my website name is partha.pw. I already configured this one. You can see that I already added Google site verification. But for you, you need to enter your domain name. Just imagine mywebsite.com is your domain, and you're going to select txt. By default, txt will come. Here you can go and copy this one. Once you add this one, it will take like few more minutes, just like 15-20 minutes. It's going to verify your site. Once it go and verify your site, then you can able to use your website. Now let me show you actual things, guys. For now you got that how to add all these things, right? Now next go. What I'm going to do now, guys? Now let me go to actual my project, because for the demo purpose I have show this one, okay? But actual I'll go and show how it's going to work. You can, to change the project, you can simply click it here and you can go simply click it here. My project name is partha.pw. I'm going to click partha.pw. Once I click on partha.pw, you can see that my hosting is going to display here. I'm going to click on get started. Simply click on next and continue the console. Here you can see that I have configured my own domain, because for the demo purpose I already configured this one. Because why configure? Because domain propagation will take time. It will take minimum to minimum 24 hours based on your service provider. But you can see that after adding this one, what you can go now, if you see this one is saying the custom. Why custom? Because this is going to be add a custom domain for this one, right? Suppose you want to add any other domain, just click on add domain. Suppose I want to add some subdomain, just like, because my partha.pw is verified. Now here I want to add, like simply click on add to custom domain. That means suppose called hello.partha.pw. I'm adding a new subdomain. Right? Click on continue. Once click on continue, maybe subdomain, net be primary domain, doesn't matter. Once you add that, this thing you have to do. What you're going to do? Now you want to add a record and put the host called this one, and you have to add the IP this one. In this case, what will happen, guys? Once you configure this one, it will take at least a minimum 12 to 24 hours propagate your this domain to this IP. But if you can see in my case, if I go to my A record, you can see that I already added the A record here. For my project, I have added the A record already. Partha.pw, I have added the same A record. www also I record the same record. Why? Because I'm saying that if someone is going to open the www, it's going to redirect to the partha.pw. For that reason, these two domain, I have added this kind of these two IP here. Always understand, this IP always be constant for multiple domain. It may be one domain, two domain, three domain, any subdomain, the IP will be same. So in this case, suppose I want to integrate this one, simply I can go here, add a record. Suppose I'm going to add here hello and the IP going to add this IP. Let me copy this IP and paste it here and simply click save the record. Once you click the, sorry, the spelling is wrong. Once you click this one, click on save record. Now after 24 hours, what will happen? Automatically this hello domain, hello.partha.pw will point to my this application. This application means the Firebase hosting. And one interesting thing you have to know that guys, here automatically you will get the SSL. Means once your domain got connected with the Firebase hosting, you no need to set up anything for that. No need to set up means you no need to add any SSL, you no need to purchase the SSL certificate, you no need to configure anything. By default, the our Firebase is going to allocate the SSL certificate for you. For that reason, in using the Firebase, SSL is completely free. You can see that I have added this one. Let me delete this one, guys. Not required as of now. Let me click on delete domain. I can simply click domain here, and this is now. Now you can see that due to I already configured the partha.pw previously. Now my domain, this domain also ready, as well as SSL certificate also ready. You're going to click it here. You can see that this is opening and saying that site is not found. This is the default template because we did not upload anything. Now you can see here, you can able to see our certificate. You can able to see the secure sign into our browser. We're going to click it here and click the connection secure and certificate. You're going to see that. You can see that the certificate is provided by the Google. Means all the certificate inside our Firebase hosting is going to provided by the Google. And let's go integrate our website to this site. Okay. Now everything is ready. Now we have configured the domain. We are point the domain into our this server. Everything is done. You can see the status is displaying connected. Everything is done now. Now our things will be how we can go and push our local changes to this server. Okay. Now you can see that if you're going to click hosting again, you can go to get started is started, right? If you click on this one, you can see that we did this one. Next, we are going to do, we already completed this one. Now we'll go and execute this code. Last time you know that first two steps completed. Now this step is there. Let me copy this one. After copy, now open our command prompt, same project command prompt, and paste it here. Firebase init. Once you click on enter, it's going to ask you the list of questions here. Let me see that what you are going to do. Now, it's first the question going to ask like, are you ready to proceed? I said yes. It's going to ask you next question, which Firebase fetcher do you want to set up for this directory? And you have to choose what you're going to do. Let me choose this third option, hosting. Configure files for Firebase hosting and optionally set up GitHub action deploy. In different video, I'm going to show you how we can automate the Firebase hosting using the GitHub account. But today we are going to basically focus on the offline installation, offline deployment. And another video going to say that how you can go and set up the GitHub action deploy into the Firebase connection. Okay, now let me choose this one. You just click the space and click the enter. Now it's going to say that how we are going to select the project. Use an existing project or you create a new project. Because already our project is got created. Now click on enter. Once you click on enter, it is going to list of project whatever available. I can see that the project name is Partha.pw. You can see also here Partha personal website also displaying, but we are not going to use that one, but we simply click on Partha.pw. Let me click on enter. Once you click on enter, do you want to use your public directory? Guys, what happened? You have to see this option first. Now it's saying that which directory is a public directory, means in which folder the data should be go for the hosting. Now in this case, you can see that in our application we don't have any directory, because from a root directory only we are going to do our things, right? For that reason, we are going to not, if you don't enter anything, it will treat as a public. And configure a single page rewrite to all to the index.html. Suppose this is actually useful for your React and Angular application. That time this option should be called as yes, means everything going to send the request, it should be go to the index.html or not. You can say yes, it's going to be. Once you click on yes, now set up automatic build and deployment with GitHub. Guys, it's depend upon you. If you're going to say yes, it's going to open the GitHub and do all the configuration. But this video I'm going to create again, like how you can go and set up automatic like deployment, all these things. Let me click no and click on no. I can see that everything got created, right? You can see here like the Firebase got added and we have created a public directory. The public directory contains index.html file, and you can see that this is the default index.html file. But what we're going to do now, inside the public.html file, we are going to move our entire code. What I'm going to, let me remove this delete file here. Okay, the index.html file here. Now let me move the here, and after that I move the assets to here. Means our all the code is going to be present inside this public folder. Okay, inside public folder. This public folder contain our index.html assets, all these things. Outside that we have all the git configuration, all the Firebase configuration. Now what we are going to do now, we are go and deploy the things. Now let's go. This part is completed, right? Firebase init. Now let's go next one. Once the Firebase init completed, we'll go for Firebase deploy. Let's copy this one, and we're going to run this code into our command prompt. Now here, open the command prompt and paste it here. Once pasted here, once you click on enter, now what will happen? Now whatever the content inside the public folder, all will go and host inside our Firebase that site. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Now this deploy will going to look for the public folder. Inside the public folder, it will go and find all the files and whatever things are added here, and this thing is going to push into our Firebase. You can see that it's uploading the files, and after uploading the files, it will going to say that hosting got successfully and all the success messages will come, and then we'll go and see these things. You can see that deploy completed. Now what we're going to do now, and here we can see our this one. Click on this one. Once you click on this one, you can see that our site is ready now. See that how easily you can push your local file to this one. Now you can see that our partha.pw site is ready. Same to same, in going further, if you have any changes, anything you have, you can simply go and deploy the things. We'll go, let me repeat again. First, you'll go and create an app. In the app, you can go and configure a domain, and in the configure domain, you can go to your domain provider. Here, add your all the A records and the TXT record to verify your domain and verify your sites. Points to the particular IP, whatever IP is going to show in that site. After that, use the Firebase hosting command and deploy your site into the website. This is pretty much easy. No need to pay anything, no do anything, all these things. But one thing will be here, you have to understand. There is a concept called usage. Usage means you can see here now every day what will happen. You can see that whatever site people are accessing, you can able to see the sites. Now is saying that 27.8 KB is downloaded. Means per day quote of this Firebase hosting is 360 MB. If you go into the data going to access more than 60 MB, then it's going to charge you. That you can find here, where if you go to firebase.com, you can see that here concept called pricing. Once you click on pricing, you can see that it will going to give the lot of free option. Okay, but here you have to see that what is the things are free, what is the things are paid. In hosting, you can see that storage is 10 GB, means you can up to store 10 GB for data. And data transfer, bandwidth of your site per day, you can use maximum 360 MB per day. More than that, it's going to charge you 0.15 cent per GB. Okay, and custom domain and SSL is going to support. Suppose you can configure your custom domain and custom SSL also. Multiple site per project also is going to support. You can add multiple site per your project. That's a different stuff, but you can see that for a personal website, this is too much, right? 10 GB is too much storage. And 360 MB is too much because just static page. What if you see my site, what is there? Nothing, right? Just a background image and text. How much site? It is few KBs only. For that reason, per day 360 MB is too much for a personal website. But suppose you are developing one Angular application, and suppose you are developing one application that contains a lot of images. In that case, this will be made the cost you. But as I told, this Firebase is going to give the best option to host your site with the free SSL and the free hosting space for you. And this is good for a open source project. This is good for your personal project, all these things. Hope you're able to understand how to configure the Firebase hosting and how to host your personal website into the Firebase using the custom SSL and domain configuration also. If you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe and like, and if you have any comments, anything, free feel to ask me in the comment section. Definitely I'm going to help you on that. Thank you. Have a nice day. We're going to see you in the next video.